Putin experienced a great strategic loss in the conflict with Ukraine, according to the NATO commander. Russian President Vladimir Putin suffered a strategic setback with his full-scale invasion of Ukraine, according to NATO's Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg, who claimed that Russia has lost Ukraine forever. On the 666th day of fighting, NATO leader Jens Stoltenberg said that Russia had failed to accomplish its war goals and pointed out the high price Russia had paid for its military actions since the first full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 22, 2022. Vadim Skibitsky, an intelligence representative for Ukraine, and other Ukrainian officials have warned against haste, implying that Putin has not given up on his goals despite recent defeats. Stoltenberg said on Friday in an interview with the German news agency DPA that Russia invaded Ukraine to stop it from aligning with NATO and the EU, but that the move has backfired. The Secretary-General expressed his disapproval, calling it a big strategic defeat for Russia, because of the growing proximity of Ukraine to Western institutions. Still, some Ukrainians are speaking out with caution, casting doubt on the finality of Stoltenberg's proclamation. According to Kiev Post, a representative from Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence named Skibitsky has stated that Putin's failure to accomplish his current objectives does not mean he is giving up on his larger ambitions. Instead, Putin will only postpone the date by which he plans to accomplish them. This suggests that the Kremlin is still posing a threat. Concerns about a possible regime change in Moscow and the Russian Federation's possible disintegration, according to Skibitsky, are driving Russia's current foreign policy approach. While acknowledging that Russia's present setbacks in Ukraine are not final and that Moscow persists in pursuing its maximalist objectives, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, concurs with the intelligence representative's viewpoint. A representative from NATO and the main Directorate of Intelligence in Ukraine were contacted by Newsweek via email in order to obtain their comments. Putin and other Russian leaders present a wildly contrasting view of the war in their public statements. According to the Russian president and his Kremlin allies, their forces are doing a great job and have accomplished important goals in Ukraine. The head of NATO brought attention to the heavy cost of the war for Russia by highlighting the heavy toll it took on its military, including the loss of hundreds of planes, thousands of tanks, and many casualties. Stoltenberg went beyond military concerns to highlight the wider political and economic fallout for the Putin-led nation, citing rising prices, greater international isolation, and declining living standards. Concerning the situation in Ukraine, Skibitsky stated that the nation must free itself from occupied territories that have been taken by Russia. He singled out Crimea, calling it a key role, and described it as an important passageway for Russian military supplies. Although the Ukrainian army has made some progress in reclaiming occupied territories and winning important battles in Kiev, Kharkiv, and Kherson, Stoltenberg stated that the only way to reach a just and lasting solution is to convince President Putin that they will not win on the battlefield. According to Stoltenberg, these wins have solidified Ukraine's status as a self-governing nation that can deal heavy casualties to Russia's military.